Big story this week is the return of one Kenny Dalglish to Anfield following the departure of Roy Hodgson on Saturday. Kenny held his first press conference yesterday and Dan Rowan was there to see it.
He's the caretaker king. It's taken 20 years, but the fans have got their way and Kenny Dalglish is back in charge at Anfield. Liverpool's greatest living legend rode to the rescue after the owners finally ran out of patience with Roy Hodgson. And yesterday in the trophy room he helped to fill, Dalglish held court once again. It may only be a temporary appointment, but there's no disputing the hunger.
All I can promise is my very best, and if it's good enough, then we'll have more happier days and sad days. We just need to try and get a positive momentum going and turn that positivity into victories.
Dalglish has already begun to reshape the club in this, his second reign. In comes Steve Clarke. The former Newcastle, Chelsea and West Ham number 2 joins Sammy Lee in the backroom staff. Their job to reinvigorate underperforming stars like Fernando Torres.
Oh, that's magnificent!
Somebody asked me for the magic wand yesterday for Fernando, and I said he doesn't need one, he's got one himself. So it's strange when you talk about people of his calibre, saying that maybe just a wee bit lack of confidence that maybe a goal would get. But at the same time, he's still a top goal scorer, and he's still someone that everybody fears when he puts his boots across the line on the pitch. So we'll do our best to get as much as we possibly can from Fernando, the same as we will for every other player. The squad are a lot better than the form and the points total would suggest. So they've got to start believing that, and we've got to make them believe it. And there's nothing better than a couple of results to do that. This football club has never, ever been about any one individual. It's been about a collection, and it's been about a team, and we are a team.
When Dalglish resigned as manager back in 1991, Liverpool were champions, but the years have not been kind to the club he loves. And a decade after he last managed a team, there are doubts over his ability to lead a revival.
I've probably watched as many games as anybody else that's involved in football. Albeit as a spectator, you watch it maybe with a different train of thought. But I'm back in it professionally. It's not as if it's technology and you've gone to sleep and you woke up in the morning and something's new. Football hasn't been like that. At the end of the day, it's about players. It's about people. It's about your relationship with those players and your education and your experience and knowledge, trying to impart that on other people. So I think being away from a game in 10 years, yeah. But then the club couldn't have thought it was that bad because it brought us back to the academy. If I do really well and there's somebody better than me comes along, I have no problem whatsoever, right? And will not be obtrusive or objective in any way, shape or form. I'm here to be of help to the club, and if being of help to the club means that Kenny Dalglish isn't the manager, by the way, not a problem.
Kenny Dalglish, Alan, is a long-time friend of yours, teammate for many, many years.
Manager
played
as well.
under him as well. 10 years away from the game, can he still do it?
He can do it. I was just telling Lee that his knowledge of football unsurpassed. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks ago I was talking to him about different players in different divisions. He knows everyone, left foot, right foot. I mean, he was a great player for Liverpool, he was a great manager. Since he left 20 years ago, I think he's been treated poorly, really, because they asked
in what
him,
sense? Why?
Well, they asked him back a couple of times and then told him it wasn't the right time. Even in the summer, he wasn't considered at all for the job when he was back in the academy. As a player and as a manager, the one thing that he would always say would be, we're in this together, and I think he needs that more than ever at Liverpool.
What will he have? What will his great strengths?
He'll galvanise the crowd before you start, but his man management is absolutely terrific. His willingness to win, his competitive spirit, but he knows the game inside out. I mean, they're a substandard squad by Liverpool standards, but they've underachieved. They should be better off than they are. And I think that...
What's the best he can achieve, do you think, though, this season, realistically?
Well...
What will they be happy with that might manage to keep the job?
Any sort of improvement will be great for the Liverpool supporters. I mean, obviously, away from home, 2010 has been catastrophic. They play Blackpool tomorrow night, and they've got the big one against Everton on Sunday. But, I mean, Dalglish being Dalglish, I mean, he'll be thinking Champions League. He won't thank me for saying it, but... That's what he'll be thinking. He'll be thinking...
And will Dalglish be thinking, I want this job in the long term?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he might not say that himself, but I know he's a complete football man. Liverpool is in his heart. He thinks he's got unfinished business there. I think he thinks that Liverpool or he owes Liverpool. I think Liverpool owe him. I think the supporters will get right behind him. But again, it's a results-based industry.
Yeah.
You've got to go out and win. They've got big games coming up, and obviously the players have underachieved. I mean, this is the next
Blackpool
6 games.
tomorrow night.
Well, you know, Blackpool have done really well in the Premier League. Then
And then
obviously
there's a big one.
Well, Wolves away ain't easy. I mean, they're not any easy matches the way they're playing. But as I say, the squad of players, even though I'm saying they're poor by Liverpool standards, they're better than we've seen them playing in the Premier League
I've
this
heard
season.
a lot of people saying, you know, it's going back to the dark ages, bringing Kenny back and all this lot. As a player, he walks through that, and no disrespect to Roy Hodgson, that's gone now. He's not there anymore. Kenny Dalglish is manager. As a player, you're sitting down, putting your boots on before a game, and he walks through. Don't tell me, any journalist tell me that he doesn't have an effect on those people.
One of the true greats of
the greatest, isn't he?
Yeah.
And they actually played better against Manchester United than they've been playing. He's brought in Steve Clarke as first team coach, which is a shrewd move.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
but we'll wait and
we
see.
certainly wish him well.
I've heard
absolutely.
Hansen assistant. That's what I've heard.
The game we're watching, though,
Lawrence
is,
first team coach.
the game we're watching is